Once upon a time, at a busy train station, there was a beggar who survived each day by asking passengers for alms as they waited for their trains. One day, as he was begging, he noticed a sharply dressed businessman stepping onto the platform. Seeing his expensive suit and confident posture, the beggar thought, "This man must be very wealthy. If I ask him for money, he will surely give me a generous amount." With this hope, the beggar approached the businessman and extended his hand. But instead of giving money, the businessman looked at him and asked, "Do you always take from others? Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar was startled. He had never heard such a question before. Confused, he replied, "Sir, I am just a beggar. I survive by asking for alms. I have nothing to give to anyone." The businessman smiled slightly and said, "If you believe you have nothing to give, then you have no right to ask for anything either. I am a businessman. I believe in exchange. If you can give me something, I can give you something in return. But if you have nothing to give, I cannot give you anything either." Saying this, the businessman boarded the train and left. The beggar stood there stunned, repeating the businessman's words in his head. "I have been begging for so long, but no one has ever told me this before." He wasn't rude, but he spoke the truth. If I cannot give anything in return, why should anyone give me anything in the first place? For the first time, the beggar realized that perhaps this was why people never gave him much money, because he didn't give them anything back. That night, he lay awake, thinking, "But what can I give? I am just a beggar. I have nothing." The businessman's words kept echoing in his mind. If you want to receive, you must give first. 2 days passed, and the beggar did not ask anyone for money. He was too busy thinking. On the third day, as he sat at the station, he noticed a bunch of wildflowers blooming near the railway tracks. Their vibrant colors caught his attention, and suddenly an idea flashed into his mind. What if, instead of just receiving, I give something back? What if I give people a great feeling every time they give me alms? Determined, he walked over, gently picked a handful of flowers, and returned to his usual spot. When someone gave him a coin, he smiled and offered them a flower. To his surprise, people happily accepted the flowers. Some even smiled and thanked him. As the days went by, an incredible thing happened. More people began to give him money. But he noticed a pattern. Ever since he had the flowers, people gave more generously. When he ran out of flowers, the donations dropped. So it is true that people like to receive something back, he thought. One day, as he was exchanging flowers for alms, he saw the businessman again, sitting on the train. Excitedly, he ran over and said, "Sir, today I have something to give you. If you give me money, I will give you a flower in return." The businessman smiled, gave him some cash, and took a few flowers. "You have truly understood the value of exchange," he said. "Today, you are no longer just a beggar. You have become a businessman." The train arrived at the next station, and the businessman stepped off. The beggar stood there, watching him leave. His words had sparked a new thought in his mind. Am I really a businessman? For a long time, he pondered it. Then, suddenly, he realized something. I now know the secret to success. I am not just a beggar. I am a trader. People aren't giving me money out of pity. They are paying for the flowers I give them. That means I have a business. Excited, he made a bold decision. That day, he left the train station and never returned to begging. 6 months later, at the same train station, 2 sharply dressed men met. They shook hands, but one of them looked curious. "Do I know you?" one man asked. The other smiled and replied, "Yes, we met twice before, right here on this train." The first man frowned, trying to remember. Then his eyes widened in surprise. "Wait, you are the beggar, the one I refused to give money to, and then I bought flowers from you." The former beggar laughed. "Yes, that was me, but today I am no longer a beggar. I run a successful flower business, and I am traveling to expand it further." The businessman was amazed. "That is incredible. What changed?" The flower seller smiled. "You taught me one of life's greatest truths. We only receive when we give." That day, I realized that I was never truly a beggar. I was a businessman all along. I just had to see myself that way. The two men shook hands again as equals. They then boarded their respective trains, heading towards their own futures. Life is shaped by how we see ourselves. If you believe you are small, you will remain small. But if you recognize the potential within you, you can achieve greatness. So don't limit yourself. See yourself as powerful, capable, and successful, because when your thinking changes, your future changes too.